right? And I have a feeling that they just want to stay in this zone. What's truly incredible about this start is they can add on a couple more scores. This one could legitimately be over in the second quarter.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd and 1, here's Prescott. He'll fire this deep for Ayuk. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Jake Bailey on now to punt here on 4th down. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And the Bears take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game,
and now he lost the football. Tannehill loses it, and the Cowboys have recovered. And maybe some indecision there on what looked to be an RPO. He wound up keeping it, but that defense right on him to strip it away.
And typically when we see that type of indecision on an RPO, that means it's well defended. He had nowhere to go with it, and that allowed the defense to get to it and knock it free and make it a turnover.
And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run, and it's going to yield a new set of downs. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run here with Akers, and he will take it in for a Cowboy score. His 2nd rushing touchdown on the campaign and 4th overall. And the Cowboys are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that cuts this lead down to 13. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
That's caught left side. It's Higbee, the tight end. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd and 2, Tannehill. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Here's Austin. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest. You get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
On 2nd and 9, Prescott. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Bobby Okereke. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. Again, a run with Gainwell. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. And the Cowboys here on 3rd down, bringing in an extra defensive back. Off play action, Tannehill. And he'll find Pittman. And he will have the Bears' 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
To throw on 2nd down is Tannehill. Throw right side, going to be caught by Higbee. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. Tannehill on 3rd down. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack. So on 4th down, on comes Robbie Gould in the field goal unit for the Bears. It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. The kick by Gould is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the 4th quarter, but you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's 1 interception, we're still in the first half, I'm about to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run your offense.
And he'll look downfield for Waller, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here's Jake Bailey now. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This will be fielded at the 17. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And they will take over 1st and 10. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And he's got this one complete to Callaway. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now. So as they take it over, we step aside. The Bears on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Tannehill. Being chased out left. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Now Tannehill with a little touch pass to his wideout. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and 12, Tannehill. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And the Cowboys are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. 3rd and short yardage, Prescott. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott. And they will score a pick-6 for a Bears touchdown. And that pick-6, Charles, that moves it up now to a 3-touchdown advantage. A great individual defensive effort there to continue what has been a very lopsided first half.
And I better buckle in my seatbelt, right? Because as a former DB, when I see a pick-6, I'm up and jumping up and down watching it. Yeah, I'm supposed to be neutral, but those kind of plays, they excite me every time. They are in absolute control in this one. Nice play there.
And it'll come out to the 25. Austin not going to try and return it. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And with a 3-score deficit staring them in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
To the air again, Prescott. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
On second down, Prescott again. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. It's the Cowboys who get the football first, and they trail here as well as we resume action in the third quarter. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Now on 2nd and 13, Prescott. He'll fire this deep for Ayuk. And now here is another interception. And the Bears are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
Partner, I see you reaching for the white flag. Put it down. I don't want you throwing it, but I understand why. Because if you do, you're hoping they might actually stop this game, because we're in blowout territory right now. That interception just surrendered any momentum they built up in the locker room during halftime. So game plan, it's in the garbage. Time to try something new in this one.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Michael Pittman that time. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
The coverage was good, but I just wonder if they absolutely fooled the quarterback on that play. I think he was expecting something else, ended up with nowhere to throw the football successfully.
Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Phidarian Mathis in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career. That time, Charles, great job keeping him in the pocket and not letting him escape.
And, Brandon, I think this was a great example of the front and the back working together, meaning the back covering, no place to go with the football. And the front, terrific job on the edge so he couldn't escape outside. And then, of course, the inside pressure kept him hemmed in as well.
Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. On play action, Prescott. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
That's into the hands of Akers, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. They'll run on 1st down with Akers. Tackled by Emmanuel Mosley. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Off the play fake, Prescott. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Michael Davis. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
On the counter, here's Kamara. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's second down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
From the 40 now on second down. Tannehill. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Pittman. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first. Tannehill. Open man is Higbee, the tight end. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And that'll bring up a second down in just a couple. Out of the gun, Tannehill. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. A.J. Boye with a pick. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. So they get the interception, and almost as importantly, a big return after that.
And who was the guy that saved the touchdown, partner? The guy who threw the interception. A lot of times, he just gives it the old Olay, but give him credit. He went old school. He was determined not to make this a pick six, and he got there in time to make the tackle.
And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
They give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jeffrey Simmons able to record his 5th sack of the season. They'll need a big play here, will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Now Prescott. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Bears on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. They'll fake it. Now Tannehill. He's got an open man. He completes it to Callaway. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain of 22. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Flushed out right. It's caught by Mike Evans. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Now it's Tannehill. And this will be incomplete. Boy, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's 4th down. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. Now Austin. A very good punt, but a 16-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. The sack by Jordan Willis.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
Campbell making the catch. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded at about the 28. A big kick that time, 52 yards. At their own 36-yard line. Here we go. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. It's been a dominant performance to this point, Charles, and this is probably exactly how they scripted this and envisioned it. They got a 3-score lead, 4th quarter, and a chance if they want to continue to pour it on here.
It is their call, isn't it? I mean, the way that they have taken on this game and the way that they have carried this game and have dominated this game, you're exactly right. Do what you want down the stretch. We are in the era of, hey, if you don't want us to do this to you, then you need to stop us. Their call to finish this one off. Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Tannehill going to throw on 3rd and 1. Airing this one out for Evans. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Chicago. 3 touchdown passes now for Ryan Tannehill. And the Bears look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Gold with the extra point, and this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. He starts with a give to Akers. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Play action now. Prescott looking for Campbell downfield. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Here's Prescott. He'll dump this off to Akers. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
A 4-yard gain brings up second and goal at the Bears' 4-yard line.
Here's a run with Akers on second down. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. 3rd and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable. Prescott off play action. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott. And the Bears are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And it's starting to look like that 3-game losing streak is going to be a thing of the past here. Coming up 1st and 10 in the 4th quarter. Trying to run down some clock with Kamara. Josh Sweat coming in strong and dropping him behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Throwing now, Tannehill. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game.
Here we go, here we go. Run. Deep.
3rd and long, it's Tannehill. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Take it at the 37. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You'd have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And now here is another interception. Picked by Emmanuel Mosley. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Quan Alexander picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. Well, on one side of this, Charles, an impressive victory. On the other, I mean, you think about it, they scored in the 1st quarter, but then they didn't score in quarters 2, 3, or 4. They're going to have a lot of work to do before stepping back on the field.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting tape to analyze, won't it? Because why did it work in the 1st quarter, but nothing in quarters 2, 3, and 4? So we always talk about adjustments. You don't just wait till halftime. You do it series to series. They'll be working on that in preparation for their next game.
So for Chicago, they snap out of their doldrums and improve to 2-6 on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, the struggles intensify as they drop to 2-6 now on the year. And they'll take this loss into the bye as they'll be back in action in Week 10.